Angela, and I'm here to talk about my journey with Target Test Prep. So I began my journey reviewing for the GMAT around January. After the busy schedule with my work, I decided that I wanted to take my GMAT, but I didn't schedule it yet because I wasn't really sure what that entailed. So I started researching online. I started looking at other free resources because I already knew that taking the GMAT was expensive and I didn't want to spend too much on it. So for the next 6 months, before I took my first test, I only used free resources that was available to me. But I still felt that something was missing. And true enough, during my first GMAT exam, I only scored 680. After that exam, I knew I wanted to target at least a 700, 740 if I'm permitted. So I spent the next 2 months reviewing more. But even then, I felt like that just using free resources wouldn't be enough. So I started researching online, looking through subreddits, and even looking at GMAT Club on what people would recommend, and I stumbled upon Target Test Prep. I saw really great reviews, and even though it might be a little more expensive than what I was expecting, but I still felt that it was worth it was worth the cost, especially since I'd be spending if I would just keep taking the test and not achieving the score I wanted. So I subscribed to Target Test Prep, and I'm really glad I did because I felt like it was able to complete whatever knowledge I was missing. So, for example, in my quantitative problem sets, before the exam, I always felt like I had a strength in it, having an engineering background. So, I always thought quant wouldn't be a problem for me. During my first exam, I didn't score as well as I thought I would for quant, but after subscribing to Target Test Prep and looking through the lesson plans and taking a few sample problems, I realized that there was still some knowledge that I already forgotten from college, or there are some problems that I really haven't encountered before. And, encountering them during the GMAT itself might be a little nerve wracking. You wouldn't really expect to be able to solve that problem then and there, especially with the time crunch. So, being able to review them and Target Test Prep, practice them at my own leisure, being able to have that time to process the problem and see how I can arrive at the solution was really helpful. And true enough, during the actual GMAT itself, there wasn't really a lot of quant problems that were a surprise to me, mostly just because of, being able to practice enough quant problems in Target Test Prep that I didn't feel like there was something that the actual GMAT could, throw at me and, throw me off guard. In terms of verbal, I this was really something that I had struggled on even back during my first GMAT exam. So I really knew that I needed to brush up on this. Even though I only had 2 months to review for my second GMAT, I used up all the resources I could get through Target Test Prep and started reviewing the verbal concepts on Target Test Prep. So what was really helpful for me is that TTP was able to break down all the lessons and all the fundamental items that I would need to review on to really strengthen my verbal because as many of the GMAT test takers know, the verbal portion really plays a huge portion on computing your overall GMAT score. So, being able to improve my verbal score even just a few points really helped me push my second GMAT score into something I was happier with. I was able to get the 710 for my second take, which was, very fortunate of me. And I really wouldn't have done it if I wasn't able to improve both my quant and my verbal score through target test prep. Aside from those two, I was really able to improve my IR as well into a perfect 8 score because of also some of the lessons that I've read up on through target test prep. But aside from, the lessons that are available and aside from the help of the study plan, which makes it a lot more helpful to keep track of your progress, to plot the steps that you need to take, or the plot the next review or the next lessons that you need to read up on. I would say that the videos that Scott from Target Test Prep have set up for the TTP users are actually really helpful. Like for example, before my exam day, I watched some of the videos, especially those that help with lessening your anxiety during the test day. These were really helpful because aside from preparing yourself with enough knowledge during the test day itself, I think it's really also important to keep your nerves at bay and deal with your anxiety, because I think that was something that had also contributed to me not scoring my best during my first GMAT exam take. So overall, I would definitely recommend TTP to anyone who are just starting on their GMAT journey, or even those who are just planning to take a retake. Because for those that are new to the GMAT journey, I think TTP has enough resources for you to not just learn about what you need to learn for your GMAT, but also they'll be able to make a study plan for you. For those who are just planning to retake, who who think that they've already learned enough from other resources, I would also implore you to look at TTP, maybe even just try it for a few weeks or maybe a month, just to see that if maybe like myself it can help you fill the gaps in your knowledge and really help you in your next retake to achieve the score that you want. So thank you, TTP.